ASMR cheater. Cheating in ASMR. I feel like ASMR is cheating at YouTube because it seems to be the most low effort content you can create on this platform. Now, of course, you can certainly put yourself to a higher standard, hold yourself up to a quality level that is surpassing others. That is true. However, it is all gated by that thing that makes the world go round: money. Increasing your content quality in ASMR as opposed to every other genre is essentially how much money can you spend? How much equipment of a superlative tier quality can you afford? Guess what? That's going to be a couple $1,000s for super nice mics. It's going to be another couple $1,000s for a new camera, another couple $1,000s for some beautiful lenses, and then of course you're getting into preamps, you're getting into editors, you're getting into sound software, editing, audio engineering, classes, employees, so on, so forth, so on, so forth. As opposed to every other genre on YouTube, you can pretty well increase the quality of your content with your ideas, with your story, with your writing, with your personality, with your own editing skills, with your own ingenious ways of acting, or potentially even just your own knowledge, your own skills. That will bump your stuff up. And then, once you've basically already peaked out at that, you've probably got 100,000 subscribers. And you can probably go full time as a YouTube creator if that's what you wanted to do. You could, certainly at 100,000, you can subsist, I want to say, in a fairly reasonable lifestyle, and therefore reinvest your money, your earnings, back into YouTube and get your really nice mic, get your much better camera, your nice photography lenses. You can hire an editor, you can hire people to do chroma keying, color coding, make you new backgrounds, make you new this stuff, buy outfits, buy sets, sound stages, so on, so forth, so on, so forth. ASMR, that is not really the case. Now, you can certainly come across better in a video. There are skills you can learn. I would imagine, I probably haven't learned any of them, but I would imagine it would seem to be that you can learn how to better communicate on camera, come across more personable, and be more relaxing. You can be more entrancing. But 9 times out of 10, not so much. So ASMR is really cheating. So am I cheating in ASMR? If there was a cheat code to ASMR, I would be bumping it in right now. Right now. Huh? No, didn't do anything. I didn't think so. Well, maybe it did. I don't know. Let's see. I really will only be able to tell after this video. And with that being said, moving on to my other topic, which was, why does this intro sound familiar? This intro sounded familiar to me because I was thinking of Ephemeral Rift ASMR, who I generally don't really follow. I've only really gotten into ASMR in the last 2 years. 2 years, I would say. And obviously, that guy's been around for way longer than that. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even think I found him until after I started recording ASMR videos. So, completely outside of my wheelhouse, but apparently, I'm certainly not the first person to mention this, got himself into some hot water because of Twitter, something he said on Twitter. I have a very cursory view of this. I haven't researched it, so I have no idea what is actually going on. And obviously, I don't know the guy. I'm not going to make any judgments on him because of that. Certainly, making judgments on someone because of what they say on Twitter is foolish at best. Really hilariously stupid at worst. But I think I can weigh in on the larger issue because it affects everyone, and therefore everyone is going to have some degree of opinion on it. My super, far back, completely uninterested perspective and opinion on it is that he said he didn't like being constrained in his language because, well, actually I don't know his reasoning, but I'm going to hazard a guess, and I'll be charitable and say that he did not want to be constrained in his use of language, his choice of words, whether those words are good or bad, you agree with him. He didn't want to be constrained on them because the constraints did not seem to apply to him, in the sense that he did not feel that the rules were useful or applicable to him. Now, that's a very reasonable argument, and we can give a pretty good example of this. Have you ever been driving late at night, very early in the morning, or out in the middle of nowhere, and you come to a red light? You come to this red light and you slow down because you've come to this red light before, and there have been cars there. There have been people. There's been reason to stop. You understand this intuitively. The red light, the cross are there to protect yourself, other people, and also to harmoniously allow for society to exist, to continue. Everybody needs to get where they're going, and they need to do it quickly and safely as much as possible. But in the middle of the night, you can look, you can see nobody's there. There's no reason for you to stop at that red light. Certainly no reason for you to wait until it turns green. So, do you run that red light? Or do you wait, knowing that you're waiting only because you have been programmed to wait? You are allowing a unthinking, uncaring timer to dictate how you live your life, the choices you're making. Certainly when that timer is dictating how you live your life, and it makes sense, you volunteer for it, you accede to its uncaring nature because that's what you want. You want it to be fair. But when that uncaring, unthinking nature is antithetical to its purpose, at the very least, you resent its existence. And perhaps in a moment of rebellion, will and are not entirely penned in by these unnatural, industrialized rules. Again, to be very charitable, I'm going to assume that is what Ephemeral Rift was attempting to point out. Certainly he's not the first, if that is the case. I believe he's done an apology video or a follow-up video, something like that. Again, I haven't watched it because his personal perspective on this is, in my mind, less interesting than the underlying issue. The underlying issue is we live in a society that is so large and so complex and so interdependent and intermingled that we almost must sacrifice some individual choices, some individual liberties, some individual choice and freedom of will in order to make everybody able to live the life that they want in the society we're in. And we understand this, and we accept it. We also accept that we can choose not to do that. We can choose to go live out in the middle of nowhere where none of these laws apply. But the society that we've come to grow up in, this industrialized, easy society, will no longer be there to cushion us. Some people make that trade-off, and all the best to them. I think probably a lot of people romanticize it, and I'm one of them, if I'm going to be honest. However, when those rules cease to apply, when those rules become antithetical to their purpose of allowing us to live lives of individual freedom and contentment, we want to rebel. Now, this might be a generally Western culture type of thing because Eastern cultures have a much more communalistic approach to these things, so you would never see a Japanese person, press the button across the street and then, even when they can see, nobody's there. Until that green light comes on, they're not crossing the street. Because that is the social contract from where they are. And it's the culture they've grown up in. In our Western culture, that's not the case. We have a far more individualistic view of society and the purpose of society. The purpose of society, for us, is to allow the individual to be the individual. Allow that individual to be whatever they want to be, as long as it does not infringe on someone else's ability to be whatever they want to be. The Eastern version of that is you're a cog in a machine. You are part of society, and the whole is more important than any one individual in it. Different sides of different coins, I'd say, probably. The point being, examining these viewpoints is more important than the individual specific of an instance. In this view of Ephemeral Rift, whether he was right in this specific instance, I don't know. I can't say. However, I think the issue that he's facing is one that we all face, and one that seems to be coming coming to a head. How much societal pressure will we allow before it's too much? What will be the straw that breaks the camel's back? What will be the point where the small act of rebellion will no longer be enough, and a large act of rebellion against the rules will be the natural consequence? I don't know, but it does seem to be pushing more towards that. The more we're constrained, the more we are pushed down, the more we want to explode outwards. If we had a new frontier, that's where we would be going. If we had a new West, if we had a new manifest destiny, that's where it would be going. That's what we would be doing. That's why the space race right now is, that's why everyone's so interested in SpaceX, colonizing Mars, leaving the planet, all that stuff. It's because we want that freedom back. And there's no place really to go on Earth for it anymore. So we have to look outwards. Alright. I went from ASMR to Ephemeral Rift to colonizing Mars. Very impressive. Before I go even further afield, I shall say good luck in all of your endeavors. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this and made it to the end of this much longer video than my more recent ones, please do leave a like. Do let me know what you think. I like hearing about that, so comment. Subscribe would be fantastic. Any which way, goodbye for now.